Hello and a perfect morning to everyone. I hope that everyone is doing well. Due to the current updates of the COVID-19 outbreak, we are currently in our fourth wave. So please stay safe and always by the SOPs to break the chain of spread of COVID-19. So this morning, I will begin the meeting by inviting our secretary, Ms. Sabrina, to begin with the first agenda. Take the floor, Ms.
Uh, Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Apologies for the people who are absent, Kamarina and Siti Sarah. They have given notice of emergency leave. Just a recollection of the last meeting of our NGO, AFWIN, was conducted by a local women's shelter, Rafflesia Haven for Women, to help in the influx of applicants asking for refuge after the pandemic. Coincidentally, in the previous meeting, our NGO had made plans to meet with JBR bundle in Ipoh to discuss matters regarding organizing a fundraising event together. So we have decided to make charity sales in helping single moms who are financially affected after the pandemic. Our NGO is more than happy to help and organize a fundraising program to provide women with basic needs and necessities such as food, clothes, and hygiene supplies. All right, that's all for the updates.
All right, thank you. Um, so can I have the updates on everything that has been mentioned regarding the event? I think it's best that we start with our sponsorship bureau, Ms. Damira, to begin.
Assalamualaikum. Good morning to our chairman, Mr. Irfan, and my fellow colleagues. Pertaining to the sponsorship for our upcoming fundraising event, I've met up with Encik Ahmad, the owner of JPR Bandar Ipoh. Good news, everyone. I'm glad to announce that Encik Ahmad has agreed to collaborate with us. And I've also explained to him about the objectives of our event of course, to help to raise funds for single mothers who are financially affected due to the pandemic. As you all know, most of them have lost their jobs and had to move out from their home. And some of them were out of jobs for months and they've got no savings left to fend for themselves and their children. So they had no choice but to get shelter from Rafflesia Haven for Women. Plus, a majority of them have many kids with zero assistance. All right, so as per our discussion in previous meeting, we are targeting RM 40,000 for Rafflesia Haven for Women. That being said, the current budget allocation is RM 20,000 from our side. In addition, JBR Bundle will be contributing to us RM 10,000 for the event expenditure. And on top of that, JBR has also agreed to donate 50% of their sales profit on that day to Rafflesia Haven for Women.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Damira. Ms. Secretary, do you have anything that you wanted to ask?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for asking. By the way, I have a question to Ms. Damira. Do you have any idea of what we should give in return for that?
Oh, yes. In return, as a token of appreciation, we will do a product placement for JPR Bundle on social media. For instance, I was thinking maybe Facebook, TikTok, etc. Moreover, for our next event, royalties from other well-known clothing companies, JPR Bundle will also be entitled.
May I propose that since we have an additional budget, we can recognize JBR Bundle as our primary clothing vendor and give them royalty by subsidizing their following clothing line up for our next event. This is my motion.
I second the motion that Rehana proposed. I think everyone in favor. Okay. So I guess everyone's in favor of the motion. So I have a question regarding the extra funds. Do we have a proper list of it, of a ledger that we use, any from our treasury?
No, Mr. Chairman, no funds are being used from our treasury. Next, we are moving on to Damira to continue.
Okay, thank you. I got a question for Ms. Damira. What well-known brands that do you have in mind that we wanted to sell on the day, that we wanted to give out on the day?
All right, good question. Yes, I'm looking into brands like Levi's or Guess. Yeah, that's what I think of. Well, I guess that's just all from me for now. I'll pass on to the Resource Bureau, Ms. Afika, to speak. Thank you.
Duly noted. Thank you, Damira. For the updates, let us move on to Resource Bureau. Afika, can you give us updates regarding your tasks?
Yes, sure. On behalf of Resource Bureau, I would like to share about the food that our company will get during the upcoming fundraising event, which is prepared by Nasi Ayam Izzah restaurant. So we are using 1.5 thousand ringgit Malaysia for 300 portion from company monthly incentive for every workers. The restaurant will include their special chicken rice buffet, also sweet drinks such as Sunquick juice and Rabina. Other than that, we will have to use another 82 ringgit and 80 cents to buy 6 boxes of 24 multiple 500 milliliter of mineral water and other necessities such as 2 big banners and 500 pieces of pamphlets required a total of 110 ringgit Malaysia. Moreover, one banner price is 30 ringgit only, and for one piece of pamphlet price is 10 cents only. Last but not least, for boxes of facial tissues, we'll need 10 ringgit as one of our hygiene necessities. So I can conclude that the final total that our bureau will require is 1,702 ringgit and 80 cents. Okay.
All right. So, Ms. Afika, Nasi Ayam Izzah restaurant will be our primary cost provider. By the way, have you found any provider that can be our dessert parlor? Because our budget quotation for miscellaneous is RM 300 ringgit.
I see. Actually, I have just asked upon Swan Cake Shop for their trending three flavors pudding and their ice kacang for our dessert menu and evening tea. Now I am still waiting for their response as I have bargained with the shop owner who is Miss Putri on total price to be confirmed. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Afika, for the information. So I
Welcome.
think we will move on to the next agenda. I invite Mr. Aiman, a representative from our Bureau of Public Relations, to present on and to brief on his findings.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone. So, as an update for you guys, I have reached out to the management of Dewan Serbaguna Taman Kening, and they have agreed to host us during the event. And however, they have not given us any quotation for the rental yet. But from what I heard is that we could get the venue for free. So, but it all depends on the people of Taman Kening themselves. But then I'll keep everyone updated in the coming future. So don't worry about that. I've also deployed Mr. Zulfikri, our logistic bureau, to follow up with the people at the Dewan Serbaguna Taman Kening to see of the itemization that is needed for us to use during the day of the event and also the before and the after. But then, as a backup plan, I am also thinking of contacting the owner of Plan B's Merchant Lane Ballroom, as their place might be a bit more comfortable for our charity sales. And then it's because they are equipped with air conditioning and also proper parking places. But this is only a suggested motion, so feel free to object or second this. Thank you.
All in favor of Mr. Aiman's motion? All in favor? Good. I think that concludes things. So, Mr. Aiman, is there anything else you wanted to add?
Yes, actually, another contributor that would like to collaborate with us during the event is the Medicare Clinic. And also they also want to give out Medicare. I'm sorry. They would also like to give out booster vaccination shots during our event. And their reason for joining us is not only to like give out boosters during the day off, but they also were thinking of basically supporting our charity sales by um, being there, making and inviting people from outside to come in. So yeah, again, this is only a motion, so do make your argument if you disagree with this, or second the motion if you love this idea by having them around during the day of the event.
All in favor of having Medicare Clinic with us? Okay, I guess that concludes things as well. I have another question regarding the vaccine. Okay, it's about the boosters, right? Does the clinic provide us with what type of vaccine that they are going to administer? Because I think that this is a very sensitive information that has to be told to the public to avoid any misinformation. It's health that we're talking about. Can you explain on that, Mr. Ivan?
Yeah, absolutely. From what I was told during our discussion when the clinic approached me, is that a medical clinic would provide the people who comes in to get the booster shots with Pfizer type of vaccine. So yes, I think everyone would be aware of that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Excuse me.
Okay, sorry.
I have
Come in,
things
Mr.
to
Secretary.
say. All right. I want to say that both of the motion has passed unanimously.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I hope that the information about the vaccine is being wrote down in our promotional posters as well, because we wanted to avoid any miscommunication and misinformation from our part. So I think that we should move on to the next agenda. So I now invite Mr. Zulfikri.
Sorry. I still have another thing to talk about.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Okay, so please move on.
It's okay. 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 Lastly, just for everyone's information, I'll be helping out in making the posters and also the promotional things for our fundraising event, which now would include the JVR bundle and also Medica Clinic as our respective collaborators. And then lastly, I've contacted actually the local news agency, the Ipoh Echo, to do an article coverage for our humble event to promote and make people aware of our upcoming event, basically, just to get the words out there. And they also suggested to me and also for us basically to make an online donation link as well so that people can for the people that couldn't make it during the day off, they are able to donate into our cause through online means. So yeah, this would be my final motion. So I hope everyone can cast their vote. Thank you. Agree or disagree?
All in favor of the motion? Okay.
All right,
The
so-
motion has passed unanimously. I know, which is Secretary wanted to say that. So
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
okay. So now let's move on to the next agenda. Thank you, Mr. Aiman, our Bureau of Public Relations. I hope that we can maintain really good relations with the parties that involved. So now I invite Mr. Zulfikri, a representative from the Logistics Department, to brief on his findings.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. Can you guys hear my voice? Alright, let's start. As a logistic department,
Mr. Zulfikri, sorry to cut you off, but your microphone is acting up. So I think that if you can you do a bit of a test?
Hello? Hello?
No, it's still there. It's still there. I think you should just use your phone microphone. It's a bit
Right.
safer that way.
Alright, can you guys hear me?
Okay, this is
Yeah.
this is much more better.
Alright. As a logistic department, since we are doing a significant event, we should be prepared for equipment such as tent, portable toilet, trash can, electrical need for the event. Also, for a large event like this, we need to make sure the setup of a sound system and visual aid is good enough to allow every guest to enjoy our event at a comfortable decibel. Other than that, because it was a large-scale outdoor event, the venue we wanted to book must have a beautiful expanse of land. However, we can also look for another location if the local roadway can manage the traffic. Alright. The first thing I want to highlight is what the requirements are before the event. Our responsibility as a logistic department is to prepare what the event needs. So from the last meeting, we already made a list about how many chairs, table, tent, etc. are required.
Have you made a list about what is needed and what's not needed for the event? Can you share it with us?
Let me check first. Okay, I found it. The logistic department already made a list of what equipment is required during the event later. For example, we need 100 chairs, 40 tables, 20 tents, PA system, and 20 fans.
Is there any, Mrs. Sabrina? I think that you wanted to add anything. You wanted to add anything?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a question. Are there other additional equipment that we should be aware of?
Alright. There's more equipment. However, this is the most compulsory item first. For the room setup, the shot is auditorium style. It's appropriate for a short or more extensive group of people. However, a social distancing between the chair is a requirement we should follow. The timeline during the event is that the logistic department will be on standby if any equipment is insufficient or damaged. Because we can't predict what will happen during the event, it's better to be well prepared. And lastly from us, after the event, the logistic department will ensure all the rented equipment will be returned without any damage. If only any damage occur, we will pay for the damaged equipment. That's
Okay.
all from me. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Zulfikri, for your efforts in listing out the list and make sure everything is okay. And I hope that with your efforts that we can do this event to the fullest. And so next, I will call on our volunteer outreach bureau, a representative from our volunteer outreach bureau, Mrs. Majda, to present on a list and findings on how can we make sure that the event cohesiveness and effectiveness can be achieved when we are lacking a bit of manpower. Have you anything in mind? Please take the floor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, everybody. I would like to give you an update on the volunteers that we're looking to find, since we need volunteers to help with the workplace sorry, since we need volunteers to help with the workload during the event, I have contacted some surrounding institutions to recruit some students. As a result, we're looking for students enrolled in the corporate social responsibility subject to assist with the event later. Apart from that, my team and I, Mr. Kamarul Daniel and Miss Siti Sarah, came up with a plan to carry out this matter by creating an online poster and a Google form for students and those who are interested in volunteering to fill out so that it will be easy for us to contact them later.
May I raise a question?
Yes, yes, yes. You can do so.
Alright, so Ms. Majda, can you tell us more about the surrounding situation? And have you identified which one would like to partake in our charity sales based on their corporate responsibility?
Yes, actually, I have targeted three learning institutions that would like to join us for the event, which are UITM Suri Iskandar, KUPTM Ipoh, and Polytechnic Unku Omar. We'll be taking 10 volunteers from each institute.
Duly noted. Thank you for the information. And don't forget to give out the list to the secretary for confirmation. One more. Um, do you have you allocate? Would you need a budget allocation for the volunteers?
Thank you for asking that. Yes, we do need some money, given around 1,000 ringgit for the students' transportation and consolation prizes for the volunteers. But we are also under manpowered. We'll be needing help to handle the students altogether.
Okay, in that case, I think that it is wiser that if I appoint our treasurer Rahana to assist you on this matter. So, Mr. Secretary, please take note on it. So, is there anything else you wanted to add?
Yes, we will be posting about this on various social media sites. For instance, on Facebook, we will be posting it on the homepage of those particular universities. On Instagram, we will tag those certain universities in our Instagram pictures and stories. And hopefully, our viewers will be engaged and interested in participating and helping out for this event later. That is all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Majda, for the explanation. I hope that all of our hard work will we can reap its benefits in in the near future, and I hope that this event is going to be a success. Okay, so moving on to the next agenda, I think that Ms. Sabrina has something to highlight regarding our special businesses. So, Mr. Secretary, can you proceed?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, but let me correct you. This is for other businesses. All right, I now begin with the next agenda to discuss other business that should be brought to light. Firstly, our longtime partner, Mr. Zulkarnain, has invited this sport for dinner on Saturday next week. He wanted to know the total number of attendees on our part to book the venue and cater the food. He gladly requested for our cooperation.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Secretary. It has been a while, so I think everyone knows who Mr. Zulkarnain is. He has been a strong influence, a figure of influence in our organization. So I feel that this is a very serious matter to attend to, and I appoint Mrs. Damira to help him on and to help our secretary to settle this matter.
Will do. Will do, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. I think that concludes everything, Mr. Sabrina. Did I miss anything? No.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, you did miss something. When is
Okay.
going to be our next meeting?
Okay, mind me, I'm being forgetful, age had got me very well. I think that we are going to conduct our next meeting. We're going to have our next meeting next week, maybe on 21, 22 of February. I will tell you the date later, but around next week. So I hope everyone is available for it. I will update you anything. So I think that concludes everything. So let's end the meeting with Tasbih Kifarah and Suratul. Okay, so meeting is adjourned. Thank you everyone and stay safe. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
All right, thank you, Mr.
Waalaikumsalam.
Chairman.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.